someone threw something in my yard. That might be a clue that might help us, solve a mystery. But before I show you what someone threw in my yard, I'm going to show you, this song that I have opened up on YouTube and paused by a band called Oysterhead. Have you ever heard of Oysterhead? Because I had 2 copies of their CD, and one was signed by the band, but not signed on the CD, but in the album. And when Les Claypool signed his name, he accidentally made a little permanent mark on the CD itself. Years later, my friend, who also had their CD that this song is on, decided to write her initials on her CD to make sure that we didn't get our CDs confused, because we both had copies of the CD. So somebody decided to play this song on repeat at such a low volume that we could just barely hear it, but could hear it. And we had to, turn on the TV louder than normal or play other music to drown it out for 11 days, other than the time that they turned it off at 5 p.m. and started it at 8 a.m. on the dot. Over and over and over, this 3-minute and 44-second long song played in my neighborhood, so low we could barely hear it, for 11 fucking days. It was actually not every 3 minutes and 44 seconds, because it took like 3 to 5 minutes for the CD player I'm about to show you to restart the song. So at this point, I started going on YouTube and on Facebook and posting in my own neighborhood watch group that I run and moderate for this neighborhood, and talking to all the neighbors, including the person that you might suspect to be the culprit who is not the culprit. Because the neighbor who purposely played loud music and pretended to shoot a gun at my house a few years ago on my YouTube channel was absolutely not the person doing this. I know he was not the person doing this because when I asked him if he ever heard of Les Claypool or Trey Anastasio or Stuart Copeland or Oysterhead or Fish or a band called The Police, he was blank staring at me zero clue. And my friend, who was sleeping in his Volkswagen bus because he lost his housing, came out and attempted to explain to the neighbor who these people were, and the neighbor had no clue. He even said that he just bought a new CD player for his teenage sons. It was like a 5 CD changer, and he was going to check it to make sure they were not accidentally playing this song over and over. But at this point, I was like, no, there's no way. There's no way. They don't even know who this band is. They have no clue. Zero clue. And then he came back and said, yeah, there was no CD in my CD changer. It must be coming from somewhere else. But recently, one of the other neighbors had a fire alarm that started going off and went off for a month. And this neighbor, the one who's formerly played loud music to harass me, got fed up after a month and called the police. And they found a fire alarm in an old barn and a box of someone's old stuff or something. And the other neighbor truly couldn't hear it going off. So, during the 11 days where we were hearing, Billy came back from Vietnam, just a shadow of a man. He was a shadow of a man when he came back from Vietnam. He was spraying that Agent Orange on the foliage of the land, and blah, blah. Over and over. Just, a few seconds longer than every 3 minutes and 44 seconds. And Eugene was walking around wearing his headphones and singing along with all the parts other than the part about he drinks and snorts amphetamines just as often as he can. Eugene would say, Mommy, now it's playing the part I can't sing along with. And he would cover his ears or put his headphones on. So this is going on 11 days. And I'm posted all over YouTube and Facebook and going door to door, literally knocking on all the neighbors' doors saying, are you hearing this? Do you have any idea where it's coming from? I'm getting into altercations through text message with numerous neighbors, suspecting it's coming from their property, and then it stops. And I say thank God, but I'm a little concerned because I don't know where it was coming from. And then, after all these posts on social media, our refrigerator in our house is broken. Actually, it is no longer here. And the reason is because the outlet that powers it is broken. So we've been using the refrigerator in our RV. So late at night, Eugene says he's hungry, and I say, oh, let me go get you something to eat from the refrigerator in the RV. And as I'm walking there, this was in my yard. Now, this is a programmable CD player that has a place where you can plug in a cord and also a battery pack that can be programmed to do something like playing the same song, over and over and over for days. It says it's like a shower CD player. Shower CD player. Somebody who saw one of my social media posts, or somebody who met me when I was walking around the neighborhood, begging all the neighbors to, even if they didn't plug in the CD player, check to see if anybody had hijacked an extension cord they had going outside to something, or one of their outdoor outlets, to plug in the CD player without their knowledge, because I really, really, really went out of my way to find out where this was coming from. I don't care if it's the song you like the least or your most favorite song, you don't want to hear it on repeat 24/7. You especially don't want to hear it on repeat 24/7 so low that you can barely hear it. So instead of hearing, Billy came back from Vietnam, you're hearing, you really, really do not want this to happen. And before they had Shadow of a Man on repeat, they had the theme song from the Great Escape Games TV commercial from the 1980s. Make 'em, take 'em to the factory, smash 'em, bash 'em, you're in history. About every 45 minutes, I filmed that. I have not yet posted that. They also had another Oysterhead song with much more cringe-worthy lyrics than Shadow of a Man on repeat. From 5 p.m. to just before 8 a.m. for one day, and the song is the one that the lyrics go, pseudo, 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 suicide! So you want to hear someone scream about suicide every 45 minutes. So this has been thrown into my yard in a box. And apparently, after my numerous YouTube videos and Facebook posts and going around the neighborhood, oh no, there's an ant crawling on it. Oh, that's just, oh my God, it's gotta go. It's going right now. It's going off my bed. I'm on my bed and there's an ant on it. Somebody actually, through the process of discovery, discovered the device that had been playing the music and decided to deliver it to me.